fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there?
Who put that there?
Who put that there?
Hello beautiful starseeds, that was Buzz Aldrin talking about Phobos, Mars's moon, and the monolith that exists on there. There are also monoliths, a massive one that exists on the moon. But hey, that would just be a conspiracy theory, wouldn't it? Because everything is these days. Before we get to the ones on Earth, the monoliths, have a look at these pictures. These are ones of the monoliths on Mars's moon, Phobos. So these are genuine pictures that were taken of Phobos, which is the moon of Mars. This is what Buzz Aldrin was talking about. You can also Google the ones that are on the moon too. Now before we get into a whole lot of facts about who put them there, why are they there, how do they work, and a whole lot of other details, let's just have a look at some of the facts first and how it built up. Now if we go back in history, it was John McCracken who started making these type of monoliths only purely as art, and that's the first time we started seeing it. So when the monolith in Utah and the Isle of Wight and Romania and all the other ones that are turning up, they went to John and they went to his family and they said, hey, is this you? Is there something going on here? Well, John actually died in 2011, so it wouldn't be him. And his son said, well, hey, this is really strange because it wasn't anything to do with us and it wasn't anything to do with me. The very interesting thing about John McCracken is that he did channel ETs and was in contact with them and was a massive UFOologist, which is very, very interesting. And then in November 2020 of last year, suddenly we have this, the Utah monolith that pops up. Now a lot of people haven't taken into account that it was actually there since 2016 October. So it's been there a long time. But it wasn't until November 18, 2020, when state biologists of the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources were in the southeastern Utah carrying out a survey of bighorn sheep from a helicopter, when one of the biologists spotted the pillar and told the pilot and said, hey, go fly over the location again, what is that? Now it is said the Utah monolith was eventually taken down by then an unknown party now known as the Moab-based recreationists, otherwise known as Andy Lewis, Sylvian Christian, Homer Manson, and an anonymous companion. But just days after that, this one in Romania suddenly popped up. Then not long after the one in Romania disappeared, this one then appeared in California, and then not long after the Californian one was found, that disappeared, and then this one popped up in the Isle of Wight. And since then, another 160 have turned up in countries all over the world, France, Germany, Belgium, and so on. Now what is very interesting about Stanley Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey film is that potentially he predicted a similar thing that's happening now. The apes in the film suddenly wake up one day and find a monolith, whereby thereafter they suddenly have a massive evolutionary jump and are able to use tools, and they have a massive rise in consciousness. Now you may say, Alexander Quinn, well hold on, what do you think? Well, my personal opinion is that I think it's possible some of the monoliths could be ET, but I think a lot of them are actually man-made. I think the actual real nodes and the noles of Earth, including the one on Mars's moon, Phobos, and the one on our moon, and the real nodes and the noles, and the monoliths we need to be looking at are the ones that have been around a long time that we actually already know about, but we haven't quite connected the dots together. So like the pyramids, we're looking at Stonehenge, there's something in the Sphinx. But what is interesting about these monoliths is that when we look at channeled messages, it is perceived that a long time ago that the power in humanity would be lost, and thus these stones, the temples, the pyramids around the world were erected to anchor the energies and to send them out as necessary. In turn, these structures would be monitoring frequencies and energetic magnetics within a large area around each one, and in turn keeping a balance energetically in those places where they were set, in order to make sure they were in alignment payment for the type of duty that they were doing, because they were working as a team. And this is partly to reboot the planet when the time was right, quite possibly around the year 2020 when the solar flash happened, and thereafter when the new energies came in fully. They are also a force between the energies and of the earth and the sky energies, and transmit and receive. So the monoliths and human beings can be said that they're comparable to each other, because the monoliths serve as transmitting and receiving points. They are also amplifiers of energies and bring energies down from the sky and the heavens. But it's also very important to have an underlying knowledge and understanding of something called the crystalline grid. Now these are the ley lines, or sometimes the Chinese have named the dragon lines due to the dragon people that put them there. In the Bible they've been known as the Elohim. Some people have been calling them the Anunnaki, but whoever, regardless, energetic stamp that runs in grids around the world, which is transforming and growing and morphing into something different. In 2012 it was like the crystalline grid rebooted, and we're getting a new type of energy. So when starseeds come in, they are transplanting their energy down into the grid of Earth, Gaia's grid. The ley line is a crystalline grid. So when you do get monoliths and you're getting the nodes and the noles of Earth, also check out Cryon, because he talks about this, channel by Lee Carroll, is going into the ley lines of the Earth, and it's changing Gaia's vibration, and it's helping change the energy of the planet, and we're anchoring the light into Gaia. That's partly how it works too. So there's some interesting things there to think about. I'll do a video on the crystalline grid, you can look it up yourself. So there we have it. Those are the nodes, the noles, the monoliths that are going on in the world right now that are popping up, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of them, like crop circles. You have real crop circles and you have fake ones. It's going to be the same with the monoliths. You're going to see a lot more of them turning up. You can have a lot of fake ones. Most of them are going to be fake, but occasionally you might have some real ET ones, and only time's going to tell. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, click the like button. I'm Alexander Quinn, Starseed Navigating the Light, and there's a lot more videos to come in these very crazy times we're living in. I love you, God bless. I'll see you soon.